Good afternoon. My name is Scott Ruther, Chief Strategic Officer at T3Live.com. Welcome to today's recap and look ahead.
观众朋友们，大家好，欢迎收看今天的节目，我是主持人林健，在纽约向您问好。美股周二高开，道指与纳指均创历史新高。今天又有很多经济数据公布，然而投资者更加关注的是通用汽车等公司的财报。昨天，美国三大股指均下跌作收，其中银行股回吐了上周五以来的部分涨幅。自去年10月8号美国总统特朗普当选以来，美股经历了一大波向上的趋势，其中道指与标普500指数上涨均超过9%与7%，这样的涨幅可以说是相当可观的。然而近期，投资者们发现美股的特朗普涨势似乎缓慢了下来，极大部分涨幅均是在去年的12月中旬之前完成的。先前投资者们非常乐观，对于特朗普政府上台之后可能带来的利好因素，比如说放松监管、增加就业等利好因素，充满了期待。然而有分析师预测，这样的期待可能是过高了。近来，特朗普政府的一系列动作表明，有可能有不确定的因素存在。在过去的数周内，投资者对于特朗普政府的一些新政声明感到十分的恐慌，而这主要就包括对于7个主要穆斯林国家的人实行的禁令，而这主要造成了上周前期股市不太好的行情。而在经济数据方面，美国12月份的贸易逆差达到了443亿美元，创4年来的新高。另一项数据表明，美国12月份的职位空缺达到了550万。而在个股方面 ，MK 公司公布了财报，其财报不及预期，股价下跌。相反，通用汽车公司发布财报称，其盈利与营收均好于预期。更多的消息，让我们来看一下今天的交易员访谈。Hi Scott, different from yesterday, today is a digest day, and the U.S. stock trade higher, and the Dow and Nasdaq reach a record high. So, what do you think of the stock today?
Well, today was actually similar to yesterday, where you had a bit of a digestion day. But yesterday we opened lower and closed stronger. Today we opened higher, up and came in. So different type of action. But ultimately, it still looks constructive. You look here at the chart of the S&P cash, and you will see that still, lots of trends remain intact. You had your little sell-off into the election, and then the snapback, and then this is when Donald Trump got elected, right? Then since then, you had a trend to the upside that wound up holding last week. Right here, you remember everyone was calling for this accelerated trend to break, and it did not. So now you take a closer look, okay, to see how we look short-term. And short-term, active traders are using this little spot here. This is like 22.85. As long as we hold above this, I think that's very constructive for another trade to new highs. But, be very selective in your stocks because not all stocks are on the move.
And the earnings season is continued this week. For example, Twitter will report their earnings. So what do you think of the tech sector? For example, like Apple, Netflix?
Well, you got to trade them based on your time frame. Every setup is different.
Yeah.
Twitter, I've talked about being long from like 2 weeks ago, options, and Twitter's had a nice move. I personally think the name is somewhat broken, so I don't like being in the stock. I like being in the options. And we started talking about this way back down here. So at this point, I don't know if I would be chasing it into earnings. But, you look at something like Apple. Apple gave you a nice trade after earnings. You didn't have to be long into it. You had a big gap up, okay, then cleared this little pivot. And look at Apple here, 2017 highs. That's very healthy. In today's Morning Call Express, I talked about a setup in Netflix. Netflix, look at this setup. Gapped up after earnings, went sideways. Yesterday we went long. Added today, I put the chart on Twitter, look at my Twitter feed, and boom, nice cash flow, very nice trend, very healthy action when stocks like Netflix and Apple are making new highs on 2017.
And on the other hand, the energy sector performance not that good today and give pressure to the market. So what do you think of the energy sector?
Just a little bit of a headwind. One of the rules that I have is if you're above the 8 and 21 day, you try and be long. If it's below it, get out of the way and kind of see what's next. And if you look here at the energy stocks, you'll see that the XLE has been out of play, lacking momentum. Because why? It's been in this downtrend. It tried to poke its head right there, but is it above the 8 and 21 day like it was into this wide range bar? No, it's been below it. So here you are looking much different, okay, than, like you mentioned before, tech. That here you go, the Qs are above the 8 and 21 day this entire time. So that's what you try and do as a trader. You figure out what's strong, what's weak, and the Qs have been above the 8 and 21 day moving average all the way into highs here, while the oil names, the exact opposite. But if you were short tech because of the oil names, you didn't do so well. So every sector is not created equal.
Yes, and like you said yesterday, every day is different. So let's look forward. There is some good news tomorrow.
We shall see. And we will have some semiconductors coming out with earnings, and some things will be on the move. So if you want to find out what's next tomorrow morning, tune into the Morning Call Express or my long-form Red All Access. I have a lot of tactical scenarios for you every single morning besides, after the close recap.
好的，感谢您收看今天的节目，我们明天再见。